G'day, this is Captainoob and this is the CBJ-MS machine pistol. So this thing here is called the nail gun because you'll get to see that later, but this is a highly customizable or semi-highly customizable machine pistol type weapon, and which we'll get into the attachments. This thing also contains animation for reloading and sprinting too, which is kind of nice. So getting into the receivers here, we'll definitely go ahead and chuck on the powerful automatic receiver. These ones appear to be copying the receivers from the 10mm pistol, so that kind of makes sense being a pistol type weapon, but that's an interesting little fact there. Anyway, so with this you can change it from a standard stock, which has it in its collapsed position, and you can go ahead and make that better extended out, and they both say standard. One of them increases accuracy, so we'll definitely increase the accuracy a little bit by having that extended stock. Now for the nail gun part of this, obviously the large quick eject drum mag there makes it all look like quite the nail gun. Next up, we've got the sights here, so we can have standard or glowies, reflex sight here, which is what I assume to be a 3.4 times scope if I was playing a Battlefield game, and a actual red dot sight there. So we're going to chuck that one on simply because it's easiest to see through and it's a lot less screen space taking up than the other one. So now we'll probably want to put a suppressor on this to make sure this thing does a lot of damage, and we can change the zoom level if we really feel like it, but since this thing is a submachine gun or a PDW and we're going to using it close range anyway, I don't think that's even worth it. But you can go ahead and chuck on a 3.5 times zoom for that other scope here, so that's kind of neat for that. Next up, the legendary effects you can go ahead and chuck on if you feel like this weapon isn't quite doing it for you, and at 86 damage that looks kind of bad at this point. And you can also change this thing's material, so you've got a whole bunch of camos here. I think this one, highly digital grey camo, looks great, so we'll take this thing in the Gunners Plaza and see just what it can do. Alright, so Gunners Plaza time. Let's go ahead and test out our little nail gun here. So getting into these gunners, we'll just go ahead and sneak attack crit them for as long as we can. And there you have it. This thing is going to be a high rate of fire, low damaging weapon. And if you can tell anything from the submachine gun's way of doing damage, this thing is going to be quite underwhelming, but we shall go ahead and persevere. There is that nice reload animation, looks really good, but unfortunately when you switch to third person, this thing has standard 10mm pistol animations, so there's not a lot of good animations to be had in third person, but it's still a nice little way to play in if you feel like not using the actual sights or this to aim, or if you just want to stare at your player or your sole survivor whilst you're taking on enemies. I don't know. Next up, we'll just shoot you in the head as much as we can. Don't really need to worry about accuracy because this thing has an astounding mag capacity of 80 rounds, which I'm not sure is entirely realistic for a mag like this, but I am not going to argue. I definitely need all of the bullets I can get, and I think that we are all clear for this point, and we'll go back into sneaking as we take on this next one. Obviously, what's got us in caution there is just those turrets, and now they've stopped detecting me, so we're now actually hidden. And even though we are doing 4.4 times damage with those sneak attack criticals, we're still doing lackluster damage even to these gunners, so obviously this thing doesn't have a lot of range either. So all in all, so far performing in a way that is very disappointing. And the recoil on this thing is particularly crazy. It's jumping around quite a lot compared to weapons of similar size like the 10mm auto pistol, which I'd expect to have around about the same recoil. But I suppose it makes this weapon more interesting to control, and yeah, you'll have to actually... Hang on, we missed somebody. Oh, there they go, they're running by, and we'll quickly finish them off with our overpowered sneak skill. And let's see, what have we got in here? Just a random melee gunner probably. Yep, they've got a ripper. It's a bad time to have a ripper. I can't believe they didn't see me. This is getting ridiculous. I think this weapon is very silent then. Usually if I'm firing a rifle with a suppressor, it usually gets me detected at some point, but for some reason these gunners are just not detecting me today, which is neat. Okay, now they are. Now it's back to just the lead poisoning deaths of these gunners. So they're going to be absolutely full of bullets at the time of their death, and had to stop firing there to just bring the reticle back down. So even though I'm struggling to continue to control the recoil, but that's just me. I'm a little bit lazy when it comes to those type of things. Alright, we'll just go ahead and bash you, I think. And as you can tell there, that's just a standard pistol bash, so not doing a whole lot of damage with that. It's probably just better off to get that nice little reload in. And we'll just fill you with even more bullets. And we don't even get the killing blow because Ricochet does it for us. So if I could just out DPS this turret, that would be good. I reckon if it was shooting at me the entire time, it actually would have killed me. Definitely underperforming as a weapon. This is more on par to a submachine gun than it is to anything else, which is rather disappointing. To take on Swan, we might have to add a legendary effect. Okay, so there's one over there. I've gone ahead and chucked the Furious effect and a 3.4 times scope and a little bit of extra zoom in, so the scope actually sort of works as intended. So we'll get stuck into Swan here, and getting that nice zoom in on him will probably not help us all that much, but it'll definitely give us a little bit of extra range if we need it, or just a little bit of more accuracy at range just by helping me figure out where I'm actually aiming. And Swan goes down in a hail of furious bullets. He isn't able to detect us because for some reason this weapon just keeps me off of the radar at all times. So we'll go ahead and try another legendary effect, and with some different attachments, I reckon. Okay, so I've taken the suppressor off and the scope, so now we're running with glow sights and compensator, and I've removed the furious effect for the grenadiers effect. So let's see how we do. So there's him down there. Let's just get a bunch of hits on him, and we'll just launch those grenades over just like that, and that should take him out pretty easily. Yes, that definitely works very well in fact indeed. And if you feel like going full auto like that, that's a good idea to do that sometimes. Although be sure not to hold down your burst too long, because it'll create a chain reaction of grenade explosions that'll eventually find its way to you, which is kind of scary. Alright, got a nice stagger there, and oh, okay. So unlike explosive, you really need to be careful of where you're actually shooting, otherwise, oh. Okay, we've gotten ourselves into quite the pickle here, but fortunately we'll just have to fire all of our grenades over in this direction, and hopefully we got a bunch of hits on him there. Lots more grenades coming your way, mister. And you know what, we'll go ahead and do a few critical grenades because they'll definitely hit him. Or maybe I should just drop the criticals. Oh, maybe not. They're speeding up now, which is good. Nice little stagger on him. If you could actually start firing again, that would be good. There we go. Almost got him. Just gotta wait for those grenades to explode. And there you have it. That is one very dead cataclysmic Mirelurk King dude. And just to... ooh, nice flip there. And just to demonstrate why you shouldn't continue firing this thing on full auto, I will demonstrate what happens now. You die. Okay, so from one ridiculous legendary effect to the next, this is going to be the Bloatfly's CBJ. So let's see how we do. With a little bit of Psycho Jet there, we'll be able to tear this ghoul a new arsehole with all of these maggots we're currently launching into him. Just gotta make sure we watch out for his swipes there and get that quick reload in and quickly kill him. Although the recoil is getting a little bit out of control, we are in slow motion and that helps us somewhat in the control of it, but for some reason it still likes to jump around even though we're shooting bloatfly maggots. So this is probably about the worst way you can die, just being showered in maggots, but I'm pretty sure... oh, looks like we've attracted the local bloatfly population. Fight fire with fire. Wow, it actually worked. You're getting killed by your own maggots. Oop, Psycho Jet time. Oh my god, and we're also into Nerd Rage at the same time, and that completely obliterates him. This bloatfly's got no chance. We'll just savor the moment as he's taken out by his own little babies. Yes, I think that should be good. Oh, it looks like the posse of Feral Ghoul Reavers is about to attack us, but that's fine. We'll just shoot even more maggots at them. And that will be just about it for that. So, there you have it. That was a CBJ-MS, and I know I tested 2 very strange legendary effects on it, but I'm pretty sure you can draw conclusions about how this weapon performs, looks, and feels from the Gunner's Plaza gameplay, and also by killing Swan. So, in terms of damage, I was actually very unimpressed with it. It's got submachine gun levels of damage, which is obviously not going to be good enough for a very hard playthrough, but if you play this game on lesser difficulties, you will probably find this weapon a lot more useful than I did. So, if you'd like to see this weapon in your game, be sure to check out that description below. I believe this one is on PC and Xbox One alike. Again, this one's been out for quite a while, and there's probably already reviews out there, so I like to sort of shake it up my own way by adding some strange legendary effects, and that way it makes my videos unique in a way. Anyways, I'd like to thank you all for watching. I'll see you tomorrow.